Hello, my name is Frank Maxwell, and this is my student art analysis. Vincent Van Gogh was the first painter that I really resonated with a lot. I love flowers. Flowers are my thing, my pride and joy, and I love the fact that he painted the bouquet of flowers. Uh, it's unfortunate though that he was struggling with mental illness, and he ended up cutting up a portion of his left ear due to him suffering from his own schizophrenia and mental health issues. He put himself into an asylum where he sought treatment for his issues. Luckily, the big thing that really helped him out the most was his love for painting, and he did say that the lighting and the conductor for the facility illness when he painted in there, essentially what he said was basically it makes him happy being in there because that's one thing through his day that makes him happy. And it's also noted to just also to note that a lot of inmates didn't bother him either due to him being such a great artist, and a lot of them didn't care to bother him too much with that. And Iris was actually his first work, which is pretty incredible. And just to know about Iris, just like most people around this era in 17th century area and in the 19th century area as well, a lot of art was influenced by a lot of Japanese woodblocks. And essentially, you can tell by just looking, there's a lot of bold expressions there here, especially when you look at the leaves and the edges of the plants and the leaves and the flowers. He used a lot of expressive brushwork to make the composition more sharper. And you can see that there while you're seeing the painting. And the painting also sold about $54 million worth of money in 1987. Currently, the iris is on display at the Getty Center in Los Angeles, California. Just like before, we also mentioned the fact that he was influenced by Japanese woodblocks. With the painting style, he used bold colors and dramatic brushwork, similar to Japanese woodblocks, printing as an influence for his composition. He painted four bouquets of spring flowers, two irises, of roses, in contrast with color schemes and formats. He used warm red oranges and yellows in a font of background, also pale green and rich blues with two parts complementary colors of orange, blue, and red, and green. Unfortunately, this painting does not have strong value due to the structure. As you can see right here, the gray picture right here, but looking at the grayscale, it's quite clear that Van Gogh focused more on the color and shape than the light and shadow. You can see the other painting right here where it has more color. You can tell the light and shadowing was the most of the focus. It was mostly just the coloring and the shapes. Moving on to another artist that really interests me while I was at the museum virtually just looking at art pieces was Claudette Monet. Monet was a French painter and contributed to Impressionism art as well, and he plays a huge role in modern painting. Monet was raised in Le Verre, Normandy. He always enjoyed outdoors and drawing when he was growing up. His mother supported his painting skills, while his father did not agree with his painting skills. His father wanted him to be a business major, but his mo- sadly and his father never had a good relationship due to this, and his mother passed away afterwards, making his relationship with his father a lot more staggered and a lot more separated. A major influence of his work was his mother, but also he was also greeted with meaning Nguyen Bundin, and he taught him plain air painting as well. Museum, Stack's snow effect was a big thing that really interests me because just like Impressionism, he constantly kept changing small details or refining the painting each time. As you can see in this picture, you can tell that the painting is very gray, kind of not very colorful. A lot of it's kind of just not sunny enough. And the main thing he was doing was making sure that he found a good staple. One of his best paintings from 1890 to 1891, Haystacks, was a popular of his works. Started in his occupation, professional painting, with series of paintings lasting 2 decades. His painting exhibited to many museums and fame soared to the roof in the 20th century. He became one of the world's most famous painters and started inspiration for many. His paintings also in multiple different areas of the world, but this painting right here is in LA, where it is in the Joy Museum. So go over again. His painting style is very similar to Van Gogh's. He was fascinated, but however, his style was a little bit more different because he was fascinated with the visual landscape and the regions of the seasons. Growing up and being around a lot of regions and fields and such, and with his mother and father, his painting first focused on different lights of the seasons and added seasonal effects to harmonize the coloring. With Impressionism, he painted with the same scene with the season days changing. As you can see on the left picture, it looked more like a sunset. You can see the shadows of the haystacks fading away because it's about to become dark. However, on the right side, you could tell that he put a lot more emphasis on it becoming rising of the sun, where you see more shadows, a lot more colors, and a lot more bluntness on focusing on um, boldness of coloring. Compared to Van Gogh's, he focused more on the aspect of shapes. When Impressionism being a huge role for both these painters during the respective painters' lifetimes, with the meaning of paint over current painting adding change in the background, even the time of day, could be impactful even the slightest. Claudette Monet was also inspired by Van Gogh. He even quoted when he was looking at irises that how could a man who loved flowers and light to the extent and oh who rendered them so well, how then did he manage to be so unhappy? And honestly, I asked myself the same question. And I think also that this boils down to his mental illness though too. And with depression, it's not easy to look at the joys of life so much when you're constantly just focused on the negative, especially when being in there in the asylum. I'm sure that he had a lot of his mind to where it caused him to go on a frenzy as well. When observing both of these works and doing research on their backstories and their inspirations through nature, Van Gogh was dealing with a lot of hard times. It's also being a patient in an asylum. His treatment, such as that, is easy to have a lot of time on your hands. He used flowers as inspiration for his art and felt that it was coating of blue and green gave him a light in a dark situation he currently is dealing with. The paintings resonated with me personally due to myself loving flowers and seeing flowers as a way to shed light on my own situation. With his bold coloring and how he expresses his art, has set a strong foundation on modern art. With Monet, is his mother supported his painting skills while his father did not, and his father wanted him to become working business instead of being a painter, which kind of messed up their relationship and made him and his mother more closer. After his mother died, however, him and his father's relationship fell apart even more, to where he had to be sent to another home just because they didn't get along. From my research from this and a lot of artwork related to back to his mother, having a warm yet calm setting with his paintings really resonated with me. Because if I'm looking at haystacks, when I'm looking at the morning, the nighttime, and the evening versions of his painting, I've noticed it felt very warm. It related back to how he used to grow up as a kid. 'Cause he did grow up in the field, and he did grow up in areas such as that, where it was like mountain range and stuff of that nature. And it seemed like he wanted that back to him personally. Compared to Van Gogh, he related back to more of his situation more than his whole life currently. It felt like a new artist making his mark. He also felt like a new artist making his mark. He took a lot of inspiration from other artists, which Impressionism was his big focus. Between these two, I feel like they did a good job making a mark for new artists today. I also feel like it's impressive for these two to continue to be an inspiration for everyone today. And here's my references. And I'd like to thank you for coming in to watch my video. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.